We know that going into this, there were already deep divisions, depending on which side you were on. Does this come as a surprise? Because I know there were some parties that were expecting they would rule in favour of a payout.
Yeah, and maybe a faster than expected decision, Heidi, I think, for some people as well. Maybe some people were expecting this to kind of drag out a little bit longer. But you're right? There were the two camps. So the ruling here is that, in fact, the junior debt here, these AT1 bonds were basically more junior than the subordinated bonds that were linked to those credit default swaps. And as you said, you really had these two camps. You had the hedge funds that had been buying a lot of these CDS contracts, 463 Capital, Diameter Capital. And then you had the banks on the other side, the likes of Citi, Barclays, JP Morgan, who were saying, no, these are not going to pay out. So you did have this real tension between the side of the street who are really defending this case here and those who had been buying these bonds. And as you said, we had a cataclysmic event with these AT1 bonds that many people weren't expecting. But of course, some people on one side of the trade were, and they were betting that these things would pay out big time, given how much these things rallied in the turmoil that we saw with Credit Suisse. So yeah, this decision has come a little bit sooner than some were expecting, but clearly favouring one side quite significantly more than the other.
But these were pretty popular after the 2008 financial crisis, right? So what does it mean that such a ruling was made in the whole sector itself of AT1 bonds?
Yeah, of course, Sherry, the whole kind of development of this area of the bond market has been many years in the making, as you said, off the back of the financial crisis that happened many years ago now. So it's a very established kind of liquid market, and there's lots of interest here, as any deep liquid market shows, both sides of the trade. But I think the implications here are that this is one lesson, this is one example of how a lot of people betting on these going to pay out. Of course, it looks like it's not going to happen now, and that will have implications for how people decide the relative risk management on these kind of trades going forward. So I think that's one of the big takeaways from this decision here.